Welcome to the Arsenal Present. How we're doing this wonderful Wednesday morning. Hope you guys are doing fine. Yes. Before we get into the nitty-gritty, let's adhere to our ritual and our protocol right here. Please strike a like on the video, very important for the growth of the channel and for the algorithm. Please like the video, subscribe, and make sure you turn on your notification bell. Let me repeat myself one more time. For those at the back who didn't hear me the first time, please like the video, subscribe, and make sure you turn on your notification bell. Very important. Have you guys seen a comment made by Bacary, Sagna saying Marcus Rashford will make a good sign at Arsenal? Just because you play the game doesn't mean you are knowledgeable about the game. There are so many players who think just because they play the game at the highest level sometimes makes their opinion very important. No, your opinion are not important sometimes. Not all the players. Some players know what they're talking about, but there's a large majority of players who do not know what they're talking about. Who, because they might not be in the limelight like they used to be anymore, they are seeking ways to come back into relevancy. And I understand that, but you have to do it the right way. You can't be waffling and saying some borderline idiotic stuff. No, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but what the comments made by Sagna were very, in my opinion, and objectively silly. There is no way Arsenal should be vying for Rashford. Like, I know we saw the rumors a few weeks ago, but we know those rumors are just rumors because there's nothing to report these days. There's nothing in the major news. So people are just clutching and just trying to put something out there. Rashford will never be signed by Arsenal. Rashford will never play for Arsenal. He's not good enough for Arsenal objectively. So I don't see why people are pushing this narrative. There's nothing there. Like, come on, let's use our senses. Like, it's not all rumors that we should actually think there is something there. There is nothing in the Rashford rumor to Arsenal. There is no way Mikel Arteta, Richard Garlick, Edu will consider that kind of a move. Like I said last time, if Mikel Arteta spoke to Rashford, it would be about his NGO, whether they want to make some donations, whether he wants to speak to somebody else. There is no way we are talking about footballing move from Manchester United to Arsenal. Like, the money involved will be astronomical. But most importantly, let's put the money aside. Is he even good enough to be playing for Arsenal at this level? Look at the Manchester United level. Look at Rashford in the last 1 year. I understand he can bounce back, but come on, we've seen it so many times. One good season, two bad season. You cannot build something sustainable, something successful on a player who has a purple patch all the time. Like, consistently, he's over having one good season, two bad season. I'm not for that. I know Arsenal fans should sign up for that, and I'm sure Mikel Arteta, who is a winner, will never consider signing for that. So Bacary Sagna stopped that, and even went ahead and saying maybe we should consider bringing Varane to be a backup to Saliba and Gabriel. Like, what are you eating? What are you smoking? What are you drinking? As a player, Bacary Sagna was a good player. That is it. But as a football commentator or someone who wants to be involved in the intellectual part of football, I'm sorry, just shut up. Because anytime he speaks, it's like there's a stench that emanates from his mouth. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Since he has retired from football, the commentaries coming from Bacary Sagna's mouth are just piss poor. Like I say, just like a stench. Please, there is no way Rashford and Varane should be considered in any shape or form to come into Arsenal. To come and do what? They're not even good enough for our Arsenal bench. Objectively, I'm not trying to shit on Rashford. Good player on his day, but Arsenal has evolved to a different level. We are competing at the highest form. We are trying to win the biggest trophies, and Rashford will not be a player that add anything significant to our team. He will not. Our objective, Rashford, even for the English hype, is he better than Trossard? Let's call it for what it is. Is Rashford better than Trossard? I know Martinelli had a poor season, which can happen to any player, but will he be objectively have a better trajectory than Martinelli? Rashford? Hell no. So sometimes, right, let's not overly embellish these English players who are heavily PR'd by the media. Is this heavy PR? Like, Rashford is a good player at best. He's not a top class, not a world class player. That is just the objective fact. You might not like it, but that's your objective fact. Moving on. Zubimendi, we know for the last 2 years, Arsenal, Mikel Arteta has been keen on trying to convince Zubimendi to actually leave Sociedad to Arsenal. It's looking like that trying to convince him has not been successful. And it's fair. Like, you can't convince every player to buy into your project, which is fair. You can convince 80% of players. That's great, but there is nobody that can convince everybody. Sometimes you will get some, sometimes you get some, and sometimes you lose some. And it's looking like Zubimendi is not keen on leaving Spain or leaving Real Sociedad at the moment. Maybe this could change in the future, but it's based on the last 2 years we've been trying to convince this guy, because it's really close, very affordable to us. Arsenal can afford it, but to make the player part ways with Real Sociedad, his boyhood club, is seeming insurmountable at the moment. For lack of a better term, it's looking very, very insurmountable at the moment. And for me, I've given up on it. And we are seeing it says and news that Arsenal are looking to back off from that deal. I think he should back off. I think they've tried enough. If he doesn't believe in the project, which I don't know for sure, or if he doesn't believe in leaving Spain, certain players do not like to leave their home countries. Let's not forget, most Italian players like and love to play in Italy. They don't like to leave. Even though when it comes to Brazil, because I saw a piece of news the other day, and people were asking a certain journalist that why do Arsenal not try and buy Brazilian or South American players like Real Madrid and Barca, now Chelsea are trying to do the same thing. It's because culturally most South American players prefer to go to Spain than come to England, and we've seen the success rate when you bring in South American players to England and to Spain. There's more success rate at Spain than England, so there's something cultural. It's not that Arsenal are not trying to bring in South American players. Yes, in terms of success rate, we have a limited number. Martinelli is a South American. He has succeeded in relative terms at Arsenal at the moment. It's still, the career is still progressing, so we cannot make a total appraiser because he's still here and he's still a young player. Let's say how it's going to end with it, but at the moment, he's looking very progressive and he's doing well. Marquinhos came, it didn't work. There are a lot of players that have come to Premier League from South America, from Brazil, from Argentina that don't work. But if they go to Spain, some are because of the culture, the food, the lifestyle suits them, the weather suits them in Spain rather than England. There's a clash of culture that does not fit a lot of South American players. Not that Arsenal don't want to sell South American players, because you don't want to invest so much money in these South American players and they come and they don't work. You are going to lose a lot of money, because culturally, even though as young as once they start playing football at a young age, most South American players always think of two clubs, Real Madrid and Barcelona. They don't think about coming to England. Most of them, at least 90% of them, there are two clubs in their head, Real Madrid and Barcelona. That's why when they go there, they succeed, because from their heart, they already actually fixated on going to play for those clubs. Those are two biggest clubs they dream of playing for. So there's a different level of ambition. There's a different level of zest. There's a different level of determination to succeed in those clubs. In comparison, when they come to England, they might come because of the money, but they're going to be homesick. They don't like the weather. They don't like the food. The culture is not similar like in Spain to South America. So it's difficult for those kind of players to actually succeed. So for Zubimendi, he might be a player who doesn't leave Spain. He might not like the culture in England. He might not like the weather. He might like the project, but the other factors, his family might not be able to settle in England. Maybe that's why he's rebuffing the advances from Arsenal, which is fair, because even in football, in professional football, you want to be comfortable with your family life and other things to make you perform at an optimal level. So I understand why he might not want to leave Spain. And it's fair, it's a decision. It doesn't mean he doesn't rate Arsenal or Arsenal are not attractive. He might just not want to leave Spain, or might not just want to leave Real Sociedad at the moment. So it's fair. And it's time for us to turn our efforts. Now, it's very important and instructive that we bring in a midfielder this summer. Very instructive. We've seen how the Wolves with Thomas Partey's recurrent injury woes. We see I missed almost 3 quarters of the season, and he only played the last 5 or 6 games for Arsenal. So we need to bring in a midfielder, either a 6 or 8, or a player that can play both. Now we know Rice can play both 6 and 8. I don't really trust him as a 6, but I understand him playing as the defensive 8, where he marks from the front, so that can work with Odegaard. We need a player in the mode of. I'm not saying go and get like Partey, but a player that is similar mode that give us the traits, the quality we enjoy from Partey, who is younger, who can be fit, who can play 8 games plus the games in the Champions League and more. Those are kind of players we need to bring. Now, they've been linked to Bruno Guimaraes, but that link in the last few weeks has mellowed down. I'm not saying the link has extinguished, it has mellowed down for now. Let's see how things will progress because the transfer window has not officially opened, so things can seem a little bit distant for now, but let's see how it will progress. Now, Youssouf Fofana is a player I like very, very much. As I watched him come, I've watched a few games for Monaco. I watched a few games him playing for France, and I saw him at the Emirates Cup where he had a fantastic showing against Arsenal. I rate him. Now there'll be sketchy, sketchy links to Youssouf Fofana from Monaco. He has 1 more year left in his contract. There are emphatic rumors that Monaco will sell him this summer. Manchester United are interested. Arsenal are I won't say very keenly interested, but there's an interest there, and the other clubs are interested. So that's a player I would love. He reminds me of Partey and Yaya Toure. Very athletic, very domineering, very physical, can dribble out of tight spaces. For me, can play 6 and 8 very, very well. Good passing range, dribbling, tackling, recovery pace. He has all the traits and attributes to succeed in the Arsenal midfield. All the traits we love about Partey: dropping the shoulder, physicality, recovery pace, calm in possession, very, very calm and articulate and tactical in tight spaces. Those are the traits you want from your midfielders, and this guy has it, and it's cheaper, in my opinion. Now, I mean, in terms of transfer fee, because he has 1 more year left on his contract, so Monaco cannot afford to overly stretch and demand astronomical fees. But wages might be very, very lofty when it comes to that. When you're signing a player with a cheap transfer fee, most of the time agents are trying to negotiate extravagant or astronomical wages. That's the matter from that time. But for me, he will be, for me, a perfect Partey replacement. Good injury record. He's not always injured. He has not had any signal injuries in his career. He's strong. He's domineering. He's tough. He's very athletic. What more can you? And I'm very sure they will fit into the English Premiership because he has the athleticism and the physicality to succeed. There's nothing guaranteed in terms of transfers, but this guy has everything to succeed, in my opinion, at Arsenal. And I don't see why Arsenal should not push the boat for him. Now, like I said the last 2 or 3 minutes ago, there have not been concrete links. Nothing concrete. I've not heard of anything very, very concrete about Fafana, but there are sketchy interest in him. Will Arsenal move those sketchy interests into a concrete interest? I don't know. But Man U definitely are very interested in a player. There are sketchy links about Chelsea. Chelsea are interested in everything everybody's interested in. So let's see how it evolves. This Zubimendi is seeming impossible. Bruno Guimaraes is a bit too expensive. It doesn't mean Arsenal can afford it. If Arsenal are really keen on him, I think Arsenal can afford Bruno Guimaraes. They're actually keen and they want him. But Fafana, for me, a fantastic option. He is my number one option. I don't know for you guys. Fafana, for me, would be my number one option because he has all the traits to succeed. And it's actually a major catch. It's not just because of finances, it's cheaper. So for me, just going expensive doesn't mean you are getting quality because sometimes we think the most expensive players are the best. Sometimes it does not work that way, based on the fact that Pavard is not cheap because he's not a good player. It's because of his contract length. It's just 1 year. So when it comes to 1 year contract, when you have 1 year left on your contract, it is harder for the selling club to play games, right? So there's an advantage from the buying club rather. It makes it and for the selling club, it's tough for them to actually take advantage and milk the situation. So let's see how this will go. So guys, let me know what you think about the topic we discussed. Bacary Sagna, his utterances and commentaries can be very funny. Let me know what you think about that. Zubimendi is seeming like he's never going to come to Arsenal. Like I said, seeming like things can change. When it comes to transfer, things can be very fluid and things can change rapidly. But for now, after chasing for 2 years, it's looking like he might never adore or wear the shirts of Arsenal at the Emirates. It's looking like that. Will he remain at Real Sociedad, or will he go to one of the Spanish clubs in Real Madrid or Barcelona? I don't know, but let's see how that one evolves. And for me, Youssouf Fofana is a player we are sketchily linked to. I would love him at Arsenal, but will Arsenal push the boat for him? I don't know. Let me know what you think about all these topics. On your way out, be kind enough to strike the like button, subscribe, and make sure you turn on your notification bell. Do not forget, strike the like button, subscribe, and make sure you turn on your notification bell. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.